Whenever a discussion is brought up about what the best shonen anime are, a couple of names always come up. Shows like Hunter x Hunter, One Piece, Dragon Ball, Fullmetal Alchemist, Fairy Tail. No? Just me? Okay. But I have yet to hear anyone bring up World Trigger in that conversation, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Now, you might be wondering, what even is World Trigger? And I wouldn't blame you, so let me explain. World Trigger is a show about visitors from another dimension, called neighbors, crossing over to our world through so-called gates to wreak chaos for their own nefarious purposes. They are opposed by an organization named Border, which has appropriated the neighbors' technology to use it in combat against them, since Earth's technology is ineffective against them. The weapons Border and neighbors use are called triggers, which is where the name of the show comes from, and they require a biological power source called Trion to use and operate, and it's honestly one of the better power systems in any anime I've seen. But anyway, back to the story. It follows a Border trainee called Osamu that meets another trigger user called Yuma, who claims he comes from the other side of the gate, meaning he is a neighbor. That puts him in conflict with Border, but Osamu befriends him since he seems like a nice guy and wants to help him keep his cover. But of course it is blown when Yuma and his companion Replica try to help Osamu's friend Chika, who appears to be attracting neighbors, which has resulted in the disappearance of her friend and older brother, and it results in a serious confrontation with elite Border agents. Fortunately, it is resolved when another elite Border agent called Jin gets involved, who is one of the Border members that don't discriminate against neighbors like most members of Border. He tries to help Yuma by recruiting him into Border, but it won't be easy, considering a lot of people, including Border's top brass, straight up hate neighbors. And from there, they face a bunch of trials and tribulations befitting a shonen anime. The story is pretty simple. After a few episodes that are mostly exposition and world building, the main cast of characters decide on a goal, that being to get selected for the away mission to the neighborhood, to try to bring back their missing friends and family. With that goal established, they go to work to achieve it, and are met with obstacles they have to overcome on their way there. That's all standard fare for this kind of show, but the progress the characters make is actually felt. There are no story beats that feel like a side plot, no unnecessary filler to pad out the story, except that one filler arc, but I'll get to that. It's all gas and no brakes, but not in a way that feels rushed. When the story needs to take its time, it does so. Rather, each new predicament brings our main characters closer to their goal, and that's why the story seems to just fly by. Another big part of shonen anime are the battles, and World Trigger doesn't disappoint in that area either. And what I like about the battles in World Trigger is that they are not overly dependent on flashy techniques and big explodey energy blasts. They are there, mind you, but the battles are far more focused on tactics and strategy than on raw power. A well thought out and creative tactic can lead even weaker characters to victory over stronger opponents, and all such tactics are believably executed. Also, the choreography for the fights features some of the most imaginative moves I've seen in a battle shonen, which is helped by the animation in the fight scenes being fluid and fast-paced. It's nothing spectacular like Demon Slayer or something like that, but it is consistent and the quality doesn't fluctuate. Only the last two episodes of Season 3 go all out in animation quality and dynamic camera movement. I guess they wanted to finish on a high note. And while the battles are pretty awesome, the characters are where the show really shines. It has around 200 named characters, and all of them that appear for more than one scene have distinct characteristics and fleshed out personalities. That might be the first time I encountered such good character writing in a show with such a stacked cast. It's probably the only anime for which I don't have a favorite character, because they are all my favorite character. The character interactions are all fun and interesting, and I like that even though Border is divided into multiple factions with different ideologies, none of them view the other in an antagonistic way, and they cooperate with each other whenever they can, because ultimately they all have the same goal of defending their world from neighbors. That was a breath of fresh air from the usual internal policies conflicts we get in other shows. Now, I've been singing praises of World Trigger for the last 4.5 minutes, but it's time I acknowledge some of its shortcomings. First would be that the pacing for the first few episodes is pretty slow and stretched out. Some scenes would linger a bit more than they should, sometimes without any dialogue, and the transformation sequences when characters activate their triggers get old after a while. but once the necessary world building is out of the way, somewhere around episode 6 or 7, it gets much better. The second is the honestly boring filler arc during the second half of the first season. It explored some interesting ideas, but it brought the pacing to a screeching halt after it was going full gas. Luckily it can be skipped without missing anything, and there are just 2 or 3 quick mentions of it for the rest of the show. But it did give us the beach episode. Says a lot about a show when the fanservice episode is in a filler arc. And the final shortcoming has nothing to do with the quality of the show, but rather that the manga it is based on is progressing slowly because the author, Daisuke Ashihara, has health problems and can only produce 1 chapter a month, or sometimes even every 2 months. I understand the reason why that's necessary, and I don't want the author to strain himself and worsen his condition, it's just that I find the story so good I can't wait to find out what comes next. But I will stay patient and wait for Mr. Ashihara to finish the story at his own pace, and I hope he recovers from his ailment. I'm really not sure why this anime isn't that popular over in the West. It must be doing well in Japan, otherwise it wouldn't continue after the over 2 years break it took for the author to recover sufficiently. Some people attribute it to the character designs calling them weird, or it may be the show's sci-fi setting that is not so widespread in shonen anime and manga, but I hope that changes with shows like Eden Zero gaining popularity. Whatever it is, I will continue to follow the manga and hopefully we'll get another season of the anime after it progresses enough. And I also hope this video may incentivize at least some of you to giving World Trigger a chance, and who knows, you may even like it and like me find another favorite. And with that being said, I bid you farewell until next time. Bye!